Now let's talk about low-speed handpieces. The different types of low-speed handpieces that you'll find common in the market are going to be traditional, operative, and restorative type motors. In this case, we have a Star Dental, we have a Midwest, and we have a generic brand. We also have another operative and restorative type motor, which is referred to as a E-type. These actually on the end of the motor have a piece here where the attachments snap onto that extends off the motor. Lastly, there's a version of low-speed handpieces on the market which are hygiene type motors. So let's take a look first at the standard type motors. We're referring to a basic type motor. This one happens to be a Star Dental 5,000 RPM motor. And basically what you have on the motor, all the attachments, quick disconnect right on top of the motor. Now, Star Dental manufactures a handpiece which is lube-free, and virtually the only maintenance that's needed is going to be to wipe down after the attachments are used with a 2x2 and alcohol before it gets sterilized. If you do happen to have the lubricated version, the motors are still going to be lube-free. The straight nose cone is a item that basically is lubrication-free as well. There's a pipe cleaner that, when these get used for profis, can clean out inside the chuck. The majority of the maintenance, however, goes back to the right angle latch. In this case, Star Dental has an angle that comes off a piece they call the motor angle adapter, and there's a gear inside of here that pulls out, and you'll see a set of gears on either end, here and here, as well as you'll see in the middle of that transmission gear a hole where what you're going to do is refer back to your manufacturer's type oil, and you're going to put a drop on each one of those locations. In addition to that, there is on the angle, a cartridge inside of here, and you would then put a drop of your manufacturer's oil right into that area to get to the bearings. Once you put the gear back, you thread it back together, and you're done. You're always going to refer back to that manufacturer for their recommendations. However, for the most part, if you do have an oil type system, you're going to do that typically once or twice a week. Now, for a generic type motor, the lubrication is also going to be in the drive air, similar to what we had on the high speed. And again, we learned that the small hole is for the drive air, so we're just going to put a couple drops of oil right into there. That holds true with the Midwest as well. Once again, the drop of oil or drops of oil are going to go right into the drive air. Next, we move over to the E-type attachments and motors. These are similar in design. However, a lot of the E-type attachments may or may not have this gear inside of here. It may be a one-piece design that has to be lubricated from the back of it rather than in the middle and taken apart, like so. Lastly, the hygiene handpieces are going to be a little simpler than the regular operative or restorative handpieces, as they're going to be a one-piece type item. In terms of maintenance, again, we're going to refer back to the manufacturer's recommendations. This happens to be an oil type handpiece that, once again, we're going to put a couple drops into the drive air of that motor. In the case of Star Dental, this is a lube-free design. Even though it has the same design here, we don't need to oil it. So that pretty much is a summary of the high-speed handpieces, changing turbines, looking for basic maintenance items to troubleshoot air leaks and water leaks, as well as an overview of the low-speed handpieces and looking at basic maintenance items of those as well. I hope this has been beneficial, as the better maintenance and care of the handpieces will prolong the durability of those handpieces for your practice.